It has been 5 years since Pacific Racing made their NR 2003 debuts back in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series in 2020. And now we are here gathered together for 16 of the best to ever do it for Pacific Racing to take the track at the site of the first win for the team at Coca Cola Super Speedway, which was exactly 5 years to the day of this race's release on July 30th, 2025. And there have been many drivers that have come and gone ever since. We've got the best of the past and the present here together, including some surprising returns to NR racing for this race. And yeah, this is our big celebration, I suppose, of the 5 year anniversary of Pacific Racing, a 30 lap exhibition race at the Coca Cola Super Speedway. Joined alongside me in the booth is another person who has driven for Pacific Racing in the past. It's Anthony McClure. And Anthony, I don't really have a prompt for you, to be honest. What are you expecting for this race? What is your experience with Pacific Racing, Ben? And just in general, the NR scope as a whole.
Um, well, I was a Pacific Racing driver for um about like 15 or so races, and unfortunately I couldn't complete a full season with the team. I would have loved to. You're such a I consider you as a friend, personally. You're such a great guy, and I'm still in the Pacific Racing server, obviously. So just keeping watch of what's happening around and all that jazz. But uh, I don't even know if I would have made this race anyways if I ran a full season. But anyways, about the track, I don't really have much experience with Coca-Cola Speedway, but it's like a huge speedway. Is it bigger than Daytona and Talladega, right?
Definitely bigger than Daytona and Talladega. They're going to be
Yeah,
going a lot faster too.
yeah. So that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna see any big wrecks or anything since the field is so small, but you never know. And I'm just excited to see who wins this 5 year anniversary race.
yeah, and of course, this is a track that we'd never run at the Lumen Stock Car Invitational or anything like that. This is for funsies. It just so happens this was where we won our first race at, and no matter who wins, this is all just about celebrating the history of Pacific Racing and all of the things that have happened since our initial humble beginnings in that 2020 Mission Barbecue Cup Series season. So I think now is a better time than ever to go over your starting lineup, and each driver will get their own little segments of appreciation. On the front row here today is Nelson Reeves. Unfortunately, I stopped keeping driver stats after a while, about 2023, so I don't have accurate numbers for everybody, but Nelson is one of the ones where I do. Nelson Reeves has run 75 races for Pacific Racing, mainly in MSCCT and Enroll. He got one win for us at Mosport in Enroll Season 1. And he also designed the current team logo. So Reeves has been a big contributor to Pacific Racing over the years, and I'm glad to have him back here for this race. On the outside of him is the 15, driven by Daniel Rivera. He drove for us in MSCCT. He won two races for us at Iowa and at
Oh dear.
Riverside in season 3. So he was a big contributor to us that season. And again, just glad to have him back in a Pacific Racing car for one more time. Isaac Nordic on the outside. He didn't win a race for us, but he is another key contributor to the team. He ran 46 races, mostly in NROLC, but also ran a few in MSCCT as well. Isaac is a great friend of mine. It's again, it's a lot of what I'm going to say about a lot of these guys. It's great to have them back in the car one more time. They did a lot to contribute to the team, even if they had, regardless of if they'd won a race or not. Just having them there on the roster every week was a key factor. Chase Buck driving the number 32 Tide car, pretty reminiscent of the car that he drove in the Wawa Cup Series. He drove for us there for 2 seasons, getting 4 wins along the way. Three of them were in season number 1, and the fourth came in season number 2. And Chase Buck was a key piece in forming that division of Pacific Racing, which now has Blaine Keys running that car, who we'll get to in a moment. So Chase Buck definitely helped us out a lot. And then we got a couple of drivers who have not run a race in a long time. And I'm glad to have kind of brought them out of semi-retirement for this race. Crystal Bennett driving the number 84. Crystal ran 33
MSPCT.
races for us, never won for us, hasn't run really any offline races recently, mainly been doing online, but I was able to grab her back for this race, and she was mainly an MSCCT driver as well. In fact, she was one of the very first MSCCT drivers for us, and MSCCT, one of our oldest series that we competed in before it shut down. So that's a key benchmark for sure. And then Jamie Edwards, a name that many of you have not heard in years. Last ran an NR race in 2022. He's an IRL friend of mine, and I've known him for longer than anybody else here. And I'm just so glad that he agreed to rerun this race again. He ran 41 races for us. Most of them were in the initial season of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series in that 2020 season. So obviously that is a big deal. He is the first. He was one of two drivers in that first race. I was the other one. So I guess you could say he's the oldest Pacific Racing driver in the field. And again, just great to have him back for this one off. And then we've got Alexander Rowe, who ran for us in the Body Armor Cup Series. He ran 21 races, one of which was a win at the Daytona Road Course. Great to have him back here as well. It's been a long time since we've had him in one of these cars as well. And to his outside is the 39 of Echo Evans Ross, who has contributed on both the offline and online factions. We do have an online team called Wilmington Autosport, generally separate from Pacific Racing, separate stats and stuff. But for this race, we've decided to combine both teams' efforts. But Echo has one win for us on both ends. She ran for us in Sorel, the Samsung Online Racing League, in 2023, driving the 62 car, and she won a race at Indianapolis. She also ran for us in ISRL for a couple races and won one of those races also at Indianapolis. So that's 2 wins at Indy for Echo, one on offline, one in online. So Echo was also the host of NROLC, which was a series where we ran as well, and won some races there as well. But so definitely contributing on all fronts, Echo did over the years. Then we've got Jacob Thibodeau driving the number 33. He ran 2 races for us in the Trinity River Cup Series, getting 1 win at the Willow Springs Raceway. Thibodeau, a longtime friend as well. I've known him for a while. And again, great to have him back in a car here today. And then it's the 63 of Henry Brown, who Anthony may be pretty familiar with. He raced for us, I believe, in both MSCCT and NROLC, but he's mostly known for his NROLC starts. And while he never won, he ran 31 races, which had 6 top 5s and 11 top 10s. So he was definitely he has one of the highest top 10 percentages of any Pacific Racing driver. So even though he didn't get a checkered flag, he's still a major contributor to that NROLC team. Then we've got our 2 champions, or 2 of our 3 champions in this row right here. It's the 11 car driven by Braden Perez in the familiar Hulu colors. Braden Perez, one of the biggest and most well-known drivers for Pacific Racing. He has won 9 races up to this point. He has won both of Pacific Racing's championships, which were both in 2023, Trinity River Cup Series Season 5, and the Samsung Online Racing League. And the Sorel win, or the Sorel Championship, was so iconic that his car from that race ended up getting made into a one-of-a-kind custom diecast. So, you know, we love Braden Perez around here. He basically pioneered the number 92. He's running the 11 for this race, but regardless, in very familiar colors, very still contributing for us even today. He still races for us in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, and Yeah, I can't thank Braden Perez for everything. I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for us over the years. And then we've got Kirsten Bell, who is here for her Wilmington Autosport uh, contributions because she's won multiple races in score, including a championship in season 8, which was our second. She kind of helped revive Wilmington Autosport from the brink of shutting down. We had shut down in score for a little bit, and it looked like the team was not going to last very much longer. We managed to come back with Kirsten in season 8, and then she won the championship, and she's done a lot on the online side of things. So big shout to Kirsten Bell for her efforts. Then we've got our most recent addition to the field. It's Blaine Keys, and he has run almost a full season for us in Wawa Cup Series up to this point. I believe he's run 24 races up to this point. Or maybe it's 26, somewhere in that ballpark. He's won 2 races for us, both of them this month. So Blaine Keys is definitely showing promise for the future. And I guess he is our rep for the future of Pacific Racing in here because, he's a relatively new hire. We hired him this year. So it's great to see Blaine in here. And I'm excited to see what he has in future for our Wawa Cup Series division. And then it's Rasha Mahendran, the number 42. Rasha has not won a race for us, and most, I believe, all of his starts have been on the online side, but they've been as reliable as they come, and I believe has run the most starts for Wilmington Autosport. If I'm not mistaken, that might be true. That might not be. I stopped keeping stats a couple years back, so I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Rosh has done a lot for our team. Very solid, consistent driver, and it's great to have Rasha here in the field. And rounding out the last row number 8, is 2 of our heavy hitters, both repping their Wilmington Autosport numbers, but both having contributed on the offline and online scales. Caleb Rose and Thomas Troxel, the other 2 of the big 3, I like to call them, the ones with the most Pacific Racing wins. But of course, these 2 have contributed to the online division as well. Caleb Rose has won, I believe, 8 races for Pacific Racing and has driven for us in a variety of different series on both the Pacific side and the Wilmington Autosport side. I don't think he's won for Wilmington Autosport yet, but I feel like that's coming soon. Caleb has been a great friend since even before the NR online days, because he was in the stop motion stuff too, if you remember, at least the very late stop motion stuff like in 2020. So Caleb's been a big contributor as well. He's just a great guy. And then next to him, Thomas Troxel, the first ever champion for any of my series. He won the Dior Championship, Dior Score, they're the same series, just a name change, back in season number 3, and he really helped kick off the online division in general, because he was the first one to start an online race for Wilmington Autosport, which was back in Dior in season number 2. And he also got our first online win. He has the most wins for Wilmington Autosport with 7. And of course, he has that season 3 championship as well. If you combine, and on the Pacific Racing front, he's also done a lot for our Wawa Cup Series team. I believe up to this point, he has 7 wins for the Wawa Cup Series team. So he's equaled his dire win total over there. He's won 2 races this year. He won 2 races last year, and then he won 3 the year before. Always been a great driver for us. He also has an NROC win under his belt, so you count up all those wins combined, that's 15. So needless to say, Thomas Troxel has been a key to a lot of our successful points as of late. And again, one of the big 3, he's got 8 Pacific Racing wins and then 7 with Wilmington Autosport. So great to have him here. He's running the Sargento colors in this race, which is the colors that he won the Season 3 championship in, and where he made most of his Wilmington Autosports starts. Well, that is your field for today's race. And like I said, it's going to be a 30-lap exhibition here. There should be one pit stop in this race. We may or may not get a caution. But we're going to have to see how this all plays out here in the Pacific Racing 5-year anniversary race.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off the back straightaway at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Nobody's had a mechanical failure on the start, although this would be a pretty funny race for that to happen. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anthony, if you had to pick someone to win this race, who would you pick?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Well, I think I'm gonna pick the guy in the 26 all the way at the back, Thomas Troxel. You can never count that man out. He might be starting from the back. It might be a super speedway, but I wouldn't be shocked if he ended up winning this little fun race that we have.
Of course.
And yeah, that's my pick to win.
Of course, this is the first, well, not the first race. This is one of the only races that we run where there's no points or anything involved. This is just for funsies. It's just to celebrate the history of the team. Anyway, Nelson Reeves and Daniel Rivera are going to lead them to the green flag. We are underway at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Going through turns 3 and 4, Chase Buck is going to try and take the lead away from Nelson Reeves with Daniel Rivera behind, and now Rivera is going to look to the inside. Buck was able to get by both our front row sitters, and he is going to lead the first lap. But he won't be up front for very long because they're going to go 3 wide. Here comes Crystal Bennett with the push from Alexander Rowe on the inside lane. She's going to try and take the lead here in 1 and 2, and she's got it.
Oh, Buck got a bit loose there.
Kirsten Bell on the inside with Jacob Thibodeau. Blaine Keys behind them, but it's Crystal Bennett and Alexander Rowe out in front. And we'll see if Rowe may have something for Crystal Bennett here, as we're 3 wide going for third. Now it's only 2 wide as Thibodeau gets shuffled up. Here comes Keys, here comes Troxel, here comes Rose, and the entire big 3 are all lined up. Never mind, it looks like Rose is going to go underneath Troxel here. Front 2 still single file as they continue to battle for third behind. As we enter lap number 3 now into turns 1 and 2. Rowe looked like he might have made a move on Bennett there, but continues to stay behind Crystal.
The 2 semi-retirees leading the race right now.
Rowe's definitely not semi-retired. He's still out there kicking in the Wawa Cup Series potentially, but definitely the Sprint Series. And Rowe's going to take the lead here. It's just been a while since he's run for Pacific Racing. In fact, yeah. I believe 2021 was the last time he's been in a Pacific Racing car. It was great to get him for this race. I wasn't sure if we were going to get him, but he agreed to run. But here comes the last place starter. Caleb Rose on lap number 4 has already made his way into the lead. Bennett is now behind Caleb Rose. And how about that? From 16th to 1st in just 4 laps.
He is pretty fast.
Thibodeau now in the middle. Henry Brown trying to make a move on the inside. And again, that's one of my favorite things about this race is we get some guys in here that we have not seen in these cars in a very long time. Henry Brown is one of them. Again, Brown's not retired or anything, but it's been a while since he's run a Pacific car, so it's great to have him here. Chase Buck to the inside of Nelson Reeves. Doesn't look like he's going to get the push down there, though. Rashid Mahendra's going to try and go through the middle. That might work out on the straightaway, but I don't think it's going to work out in the corner as Keys and Perez are getting to their inside. Brown now going to try and make a move for second with help from former teammate Nelson Reeves. And now Reeves is going to try and make it 3 wide.
Going all by himself, but he doesn't have any help.
I don't think any of them have any help right now, so Reeves is in the best spot here in the corner. Crystal Bennett's going to get washed out of the groove and is going to drop several positions on the outside lane. That's a tough break for
Yeah.
Crystal, who was looking pretty fast at the start. Brown's now going to go
Oh,
back underneath
crossover.
Reeves. And the two former Enroke drivers are battling side by side for second. Right behind Caleb Rose in the 59 car, who's been pretty clear ever since he got the lead. Nobody's really challenged him. But he might get a challenge here soon if Henry Brown can get the draft here and not have somebody try and pass him in the corner.
Yeah, if Buck can stay with Brown, and it looks like he is, he might have a chance. Never mind, I spoke too soon.
Oh, contact! Keys and Rowe made a bit of contact in the back. Thankfully did not result in an accident. But that could have been bad, as Jamie Edwards is going to get by the 87. Crystal Bennett also going to try and get by the 87. Rowe lost a lot of momentum there, and Reeves is going to try and make it 3 wide again into turn number 1, but he was able to get underneath. It looked like he wasn't going to do it for a second.
Brown slid up, opened the door. Here comes Kirsten Bell.
Kirsten Bell, 3 wide on the inside. They've been 3 wide for second for a lot of this early portion. Bell is now going to back out of it, try the outside lane. Here comes Blaine Keys and Daniel Rivera and Jamie Edwards down on the inside. Keys is going to try and force himself underneath Kirsten Bell off of turn 4, and it's going to work. And he's got all the help on the bottom. Is he going to be able to get by Bell? It doesn't look like it. Rivera now going to the inside to try and take the spot.
Yeah, Rivera's definitely not helping with that move.
Oh, Rivera gets into Brown. They make contact into turn 1. These guys are going 230 miles an hour, so you do not want to spin out at these speeds. But a very risky move there. Here comes Kirsten.
Get second again.
Nelson Reeves was actually able to draft up to Caleb Rose, but now Bell's going to go underneath, and Kirsten Bell goes to second. Henry Brown is going to take advantage of that and also go to third. Maybe Jamie Edwards running in the top 5. I mean, hey, not too bad for your first NR start in 3 years. Up to P4 in the number 79, and here comes Brown now to the inside of Bell for second.
Yeah, that's the other semi-retiree.
Yeah, Jamie Edwards. Again, like I just said, first NR start in over 3 years. And he is making his way up the grid, and he's trying to go for third on Kirsten Bell now. But it doesn't look like he's got enough momentum, and this might be a crossover here by Nelson Reeves and Isaac Nordic, who I don't think we've mentioned in the race. Kind of started up front, kind of cycled to the back, and he was hanging out there for most of the race, but he's found himself up in the top 5 now.
Thought Rivera was going to try to make a move on Nordic there, but it did not work. Moves up to the high side. That's the preferred line, it seems like, right now on the front stretch.
They're 3 wide from last back here between Braden Perez, Echo Evans, Ross, and Jacob Thibodeau. And if they're not careful, they might lose this pack. So I think they need to kind of work together to draft back up to these guys. Because you'd hate to lose the pack before you even get to the pit cycle. That was an aggressive attempted block by Isaac Nordic. Didn't end up working. And now he's up to the outside lane. Jamie Edwards is going to move to 5th. Rivera is going to move to 6th. Blaine Keys up to 7th. And Isaac Nordic now hemorrhaging spots as a result of that block. Reeves now up to 3rd. And Henry Brown is starting to draft up to Caleb Rose. We'll see if he might have something for Rose, who's led the last few laps in that 59 car. But I think this is the closest we've seen anyone get to Rose.
Rose is pretty much dominating because they're pretty much all battling for second, but it looks like Brown has kind of pulled away from everybody else as well, so we might have a chance at a lead change here soon.
And we're going to have these guys pit in about 5 laps, around halfway. They like to pit all together at the same time, so that'll be interesting to see. Jamie Edwards, Daniel Rivera both making big moves to the inside. They're going to get up to the 63 of Henry Brown. Edwards is going to push Henry Brown to try and keep him up into 2nd. Kirsten Bell making a big move on Daniel Rivera to the inside. And now Jamie Edwards is going to try and go to 2nd in the 79. Brown now on the outside lane. That could open the door for Rivera and Bell to get by on the inside.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Brown moved up to the outside line entering turn 3. That did not help him at all. And look at Edwards, huge run here.
Jamie Edwards going to try and take the lead away from Caleb Rose. We've got the original driver of the 32 to the more well-known driver of the 32. They're going to battle each other. They're going to go side by side off of turn number 4. Looks like Rose is going to lead. Rose will lead that lap. But if Edwards can stay to the inside, and he's unable to, I was going to say, if he's able to stay to the inside, he'd have a good shot in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he didn't really have any help there, so he had to drop right behind Rose instead. But he might have some help here as Bell and Troxel are making their way through the field.
Thomas Troxel's been pretty quiet in this race, but he's made his way up here. And again, considering it's only 16 cars on a track like this, it is pretty easy to go up and down the field. Oh, Reeves is up the track. Be careful, we don't want to get together. Keys and Rowe down to the inside of Troxel. And Rivera is going to go for second on the 79 of Jamie Edwards. Still, nobody has passed Caleb Rose since he got the lead. Definitely the dominant car out here today. Edwards gave him a run, so I feel like these guys can have a shot to get by the 59, but they need to work together a little bit better if they want to do that. Here comes Bell for second with the push from Nordic. Everyone's going to go low. Never mind, Edwards is going to go high, and Nordic's going to go way low. Down beneath Bell, and they're going to go 3 wide for second again into turn number 3. Or maybe they won't as Nordic slides up the track and Bell is able to rocket away with second.
Bell might be able to catch up to Rose if she gets the slipstream of the 59 right now, but it kind of looks like she's stalled out right now.
Checking behind the grid, Braden Perez, the wins leader for Pacific Racing, having trouble hanging on to the pack here. Roshan Mahendra, we haven't mentioned much this race. Neither have we mentioned Echo Evans Ross much. They've kind of been chilling out back for now. Maybe they need to have some adjustments made in the pit stop, which is going to be very soon. Bell is closing in on Rose, but she ran a little high there in 3 and 4. That's not going to help her.
Yeah, no, not at all. She's going to fall back
is chasing Troxel up the track, and here we go.
Oh, pit stop.
Oh, they're colliding. Edwards is around. Rowe is into the wall. Rivera's into the wall. The caution is out.
Oh, boy.
Trouble entering the pits, and Jamie Edwards' day is at the very least hindered. We do have moderate damage for this race, though. So that is one thing that's different than the LSCI races. These cars will not be taking as much damage, and that was to encourage the cars staying in the race as long as they could. But this will make an interesting dynamic here, as we had most of the field come in right there. We'll see how it all cycles out, because these guys right here, like Troxel, Echo, Crystal, Perez, and then obviously the cars involved in the accident, are going to have to pit here. So they're going to get cycled to the back. So Caleb Rose should cycle out as the leader, with Bell second, and then Reeves and Nordic, and Keys rounding out the top 5. And here comes everyone else. We're going to have to pay attention to Rivera, Rowe, and Edwards to see what kind of damage they have and how they're going to end up repairing it. All these other 4 are not damaged. They will have 1 lap fresher tires, although I'm not sure how much tires are going to matter at this track. And they evidently matter a little bit, because these guys are taking tires, so we'll see.
Just a little bit.
Slow stop for Chase Buck, I believe. These guys are still trying to catch up to where the pace car is. The pace car is all the way back here in turn 2. And these cars came down and pitted. Where are they going to cycle out? Are they going to hold them behind these guys that pitted last time? Or I think that's what they're going to do.
I would imagine.
Bit of confusion on the running order here, but I do believe... Oh, maybe Troxel's not going to lose as many spots as I thought he would.
Okay, maybe not.
This actually could have been a very good cycle for these guys if they're going to hold these spots. And now they're waving them towards the front of the pack. At least they're waving Troxel to the lead.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Edwards is back out there. I'm not sure how fast that car is going to be. Everyone's still in the race, it appears. But we have a mix of damaged cars and undamaged cars, and I guess Troxel's the leader now. So a bit of a confusing cycle there, but it is Thomas Troxel who is going to have the lead here on the restart. We're going to show you what happened to Jamie Edwards, Daniel Rivera, and Alexander Rowe, and then we'll get you back to the restart here at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Our first caution of the race happens during the pit cycle. Alexander Rowe cuts up in front of Jamie Edwards as these guys were trying to come in and pit, and Daniel Rivera just gets swept up in it as well. Into the inside wall for all three of them. Now, fortunately for them, this is a moderate damage race because we want to have the most fun that we can. And hopefully that'll keep them all in the pack still, despite all the hard hits that they took. Jamie Edwards looks like he might have gotten the worst of it there, but we'll have to see how that damage will affect them later on in the race. But theoretically, they all should be able to continue, but I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how all that plays out. But that caution at the halfway point's definitely going to shake things up, and we're going to see the restart here very soon. And the field is definitely shaken up quite a bit since half of them did come in and pit and a few stayed out. So yeah, we'll see how that ends up having an effect on this race.
So coming out of turn 4 here, Rowe just kind of slides up into Edwards. And unfortunately, Daniel Rivera gets involved in it, and not much Edwards or Rivera could do there, with Rowe kind of getting spooked by the everybody heading to pit road there pretty much, and had to make a move and made the wrong move, unfortunately. It takes out well, doesn't take out yet. It's moderate damage, so hopefully everybody will continue on like usual.
Welcome back to the Coca-Cola Superspeedway, wrapping up our first and hopefully only caution of the race, lap number 19 of 30. We will have 11 laps to go when we get back restarted. Nobody was taken out as a result of that accident, thanks to our moderate crash damage. But we have yet to see how fast Jamie Edwards, Alexander Rowe, and Daniel Rivera will be after they had to repair damage from that. Thomas Troxel, the winningest driver, if you combine both the offline and online wins, is in first place. Caleb Rose in second. Then it's Nelson Reeves, Kirsten Bell, Echo Evans Ross running in the highest position she's run all race in fifth. Braden Perez in the highest position he's been all race in sixth. Then it's Crystal Bennett, Jamie Edwards, Isaac Nordic, and Blaine Keys rounding out the top 10. We're going to get back to the restart here as you saw the pace car pull off. And we are back underway at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. First move is made by Blaine Keys. Crystal Bennett also goes down low, and Kirsten Bell. Good restart by the top two. Bell's going to move up into third. Echo Evans Ross going to try and take fourth away from Nelson Reeves. That caution was very beneficial for her because she was struggling in the early part of this race, and she was able to make up quite a few positions by staying out when that caution happened, and then ending up pitting under the caution. Braden Perez going to try and take him 3 wide. They're going 4 wide further back.
Oh,
Chase Buck, Rashi
Chase
Mahendra, Blaine
Buck.
Keys, and Jamie Edwards. They're all going to keep it straight. Thankfully, no accident.
Here comes Bell.
Kirsten Bell going for second on Caleb Rose. Echo Evans Ross is going to stay high.
Yeah, she's not going to get the job done. She has no help.
Yeah. Echo tried to pass for third and ended up on the outside in the corner, so Bell looks like she's going to stay in P3. Here comes Crystal
What a
Bennett.
restart by Bennett.
Trying to go up to fourth. Big block there
Mahendra.
by Braden Perez on Rashi Mahendra. This is, I believe, the highest Mahendra has been in this race, so A lot of the drivers that were struggling
Ooh.
earlier are finding their way up to the front as Perez almost turned Crystal Bennett there in turn number 3. Caleb Rose is bleeding positions. He's back to 4th, and now he's under fire from Crystal Bennett and Braden Perez. Echo Evans-Ross has made her way up to 3rd. She and Kirsten Bell are going to try and tandem pass Thomas Troxel if they can get underneath him.
Oh, never mind. That's not going to happen.
Echo's going to try and go for 2nd herself on the inside of Kirsten Bell. We'll see if that's going to work out well. This 39 flipped a switch ever since that first caution. Going to check in on some of our cars in the back. It looks like everybody's still up to speed, so even the damaged cars are still going to have a shot at this. Perez going to move up to 3rd. Rashia Mahendra going to move up to 4th. But they're all chasing Thomas Troxel right now. Anthony, that was your pick to win. If he can hold on for a little bit longer, then you're going to get the pick right. But here comes Rashia Mahendra trying to go for 3rd.
Not going to quite work. They don't really have a lot of help. Never mind.
They're going to go for 2nd now. This 42 car is absolutely digging.
Absolutely flying through the field right now. Along with Crystal Bennett right behind them.
And look at where Caleb Rose is now, all the way back in 15th.
Oh, goodness. What happened?
He fell all the way back. And the dominant car that first run is now nowhere near the front, as here comes Blaine Keys and Henry Brown into the top 5. Brown's going to try and make it 3 wide for 3rd as they cross the line for 7 laps to go.
See if Thibodeau can catch up to Brown, help him a bit. But
Jacob Thibodeau and Kirsten Bell behind, making that inside work. Alexander Rowe is one of those cars down there as well.
Damage is not affecting him at all.
Yeah, he was involved in that accident, but he is still up here. And here comes Rashia Mahendra for the lead with help from Henry Brown. Never mind, I think Brown's going to try and make it 3 wide.
He's got room.
And he almost sideswipes Mahendra as he takes the lead in the number 63 car.
Thibodeau up to 3rd.
Thibodeau going for 2nd and the 33. Things are getting crazy now. Here comes Rowe and Buck to the inside. Troxel is now all the way up in the 3rd lane. He's going to drop back just like Rose did. But Henry Brown now out in front with 6 laps to go. Here comes Buck. They're getting more aggressive as the race goes on. Oh, they make contact.
Yeah, they got 6 to go, and Buck doors Rowe. That could have been bad.
And Buck. Here comes Thibodeau. He's going to try and draft around Henry Brown into turn 3. Does he have enough of a run to get there? He's going to just barely get underneath.
He's got room. He might
Jacob
have help.
Thibodeau in the 33 is going to try and take the lead. They're side by side down the front straightaway, coming to 5 to go. Buck on the outside. Bennett on the inside behind. Who will get the better push into turn 1?
Thibodeau
Pretty much even. Thibodeau's going to have the advantage in the corner, though. You want to be on that inside lane. That's going to bring Crystal Bennett and Daniel Rivera up to the front.
That's some moderate damage, really helping these drivers who were involved in that wreck.
Yeah, all 16 cars still up in this pack. They all still have a shot at this.
Brown's trying to get 2nd again. Here he comes.
Brown to the inside of Bennett. He will move back up into P2. Daniel Rivera going to try and move into P3 despite getting involved in that accident.
Mahendra has other ideas, though. They're trying to get down to the inside, trying to make it 3 wide. Troxel's still up here.
Reeves and Troxel trying to make something happen on the inside here. I don't think Rivera is as fast as some of these other cars around. I think the damage is affecting him a little bit, but as long as he can stay in the draft of somebody, he can pull up to them and it's not going to matter. But if he ends up leading a lane, then he's going to hold that lane up. So I think that's the situation with the 15 right now.
No doubt about it. He definitely has aero damage right now, and that's slowing him down. And all the other drivers behind him, but he's going to try to get 2nd anyway.
Here comes Mahendra, going to try and take it 3 wide. Is there enough room? I don't think there is. I think Mahendra's going to have to back up. Troxel back up into the top 5 now. The outside lane's got all the momentum. And look at this pack behind them. Look at how bunched together they are.
Someone could make a mistake, and that could lead to disaster.
Here comes Perez on the inside. Rose trying to make his way back up the field after dropping all the way to the back, but they're all behind Jacob Thibodeau. There's only 3 laps to go here, 2.5 to be exact. Henry Brown, though, has a big draft down the back straightaway. He's going to get under him into turn 3.
He's got room.
Move Henry Brown back to the spot, and
look
they're
at
jogging for
Perez.
second behind. Perez is going to make a big move to the inside. He's known as Mr. Steal Yo Win, and he could possibly steal another win here today. Thomas Troxel also trying to steal a win. A lot of momentum down the front stretch for the 26. He's going to try and go into third. But 2 laps to go. Henry Brown out in front. Rashia Mahendra in second. Will it be one of them, or will it be somebody else? Here comes Troxel. Going to try and get a run down the back. Coming to 1 lap to go next time by.
Both of them look like they got pretty good runs, but Troxel's going to make the move first. He's got a huge run.
Troxel to the inside of Mahendra. And he's going to move up into second. He might try and challenge Henry Brown coming to the
doesn't have
white
enough
flag.
room yet.
He's right to the quarter panel. And here they come.
He's right there.
White
He's
flag
got
in
help
the
from
air.
Rivera.
1 lap to go here at Coca-Cola. Any one of these guys can still win it, but Henry Brown's the one out front. Here comes Troxel into turn number 1.
Here he comes. He's got help from Rivera. Perfect move. Mahendra as well.
Rivera's got to run. He might have a shot at this. He's going to the inside. Can he get the push from Rashia Mahendra? Mahendra's going to try and make it 3 wide.
That would have just screwed over Rivera.
And Troxel's able to maintain the lead through 3 and 4. Can he keep it coming to the start-finish line? Thomas Troxel in the number 26 trying to hold off Mahendra and Brown. I don't think they're going to get there. Thomas Troxel is going to win the 5th anniversary race. There's the checkered flag. He's going to win it at Coca-Cola.
Oh, what an ending to this race.
That was everything I wanted and more.
Yeah.
And Anthony, you picked the winner right.
For once, I did.
That's Thomas Troxel showing what he can do out there. And we knew, he's one of the big 3 for Pacific Racing. He's done an amazing job. He's done an amazing job on both offline and online. And there's one more win to add to his resume, although it won't count as an official Pacific Racing win, of course. But, just one more thing to add to his trophy case for sure.
No doubt about it. Unbelievable win by Thomas.
Average race speed of 202.897 miles an hour, but of course that was slowed down by a caution. They were going much faster than that for most of the race. But how about that? Thomas Troxel in first. You got to shout out Rashia Mahendra and Henry Brown. They both had great drives as well, but they're going to come home in second and third. Blaine Keys with a solid 4th place finish. Daniel Rivera, if we had driver of the day, might end up getting it because 5th place with damage, even if it is only moderate damage, is still very impressive. He had a shot at the win there. If Mahendra was able to go with him, he might have won this race.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great drive by Rivera. If it was realistic damage, he probably wouldn't have that kind of drive, but still, no matter which way you put it, it's a pretty impressive drive with damage, no matter what.
Absolutely, for sure. Caleb Rose comes home in 6th. He dominated the first half of the race, fell to the back in the second half. But he managed to get a decent finish for sure, even after all of that. Crystal Bennett 7th, Braden Perez 8th, Nelson Reeves, Jacob Thibodeau round out the top 10. And then the rest of these drivers, Chase Buck, Jamie Edwards, Isaac Nordic, Alexander Rowe, Kirsten Bell. That's a tough break for Kirsten Bell. She was up near the front at the end, and she ended up falling all the way to the back. Same for Echo Evans Ross. And that's just the nature of this racetrack. You get stuck up on that outside lane, and you fall all the way to the back of the field. And definitely struck those two at the end there. But Anthony, what did you think about that race?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race, all things considered. It was kind of slow at the start when Rose got the lead, but eventually, when that caution came out and everybody pitted, I mean, the run to the checkered flag was amazing. Great racing overall, and it was a very fun race to celebrate Pacific Racing's 5th year anniversary. And congrats to Thomas Troxel on winning this fun race.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure.
maybe we'll end up having a 10-year anniversary race 5 years down the line. We'll see. But
Can't imagine that.
yeah, imagine who will be in the race then. Maybe people that we haven't even met yet will end up being in that. That's the cool thing about this. As the times change, we get drivers in and out. Uh, we have different eras of the team as well, but after all of that, to get everybody that's contributed to this team over the years together for one big celebration is just outstanding. And there's still some drivers that have contributed to Pacific Racing that unfortunately couldn't make it to this race. But I mean, if you had to sum up Pacific Racing in one field, this would be a pretty good one to sum them up with. And it's great that we were able to do this. And yeah, once again, congratulations to Thomas Troxel on the victory. I'm sure he's going to be thrilled about that. And yeah, this is really cool. Honestly, I had a lot of fun painting the cars for this as well. It makes me kind of want to do an IROC thing for the Lumen Stock Invitational, although I'm not sure exactly how that would work if I were to actually try it. But yeah, just a fun race overall. I had a lot of fun calling this. I hope you did too, Anthony. And thank you for coming up here. I know that you weren't in the race, but rest assured, you're still a major contributor to Pacific Racing. I mean, you basically ran a alliance team with us in Enroll, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
might
I
not have
did
you might
actually.
not have started enough races or won any races to get into this race, but there are more ways to contribute to Pacific Racing than just that. And Anthony, you've definitely been one of our biggest contributors over the years. So uh, I just hope that you know that, even though you were not in the race, you still done a lot for us, and I'm glad that you were able to come up and call this race with me.
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy to be in the booth, a part of this very special race today.
Absolutely. And that's going to do it for today's festivities and our celebration of 5 years of NR racing for Pacific Racing. And it's been a fun journey along the way. And like I said earlier, hopefully we're here's to 5 more years of this, and hopefully we'll still be doing this for the 10-year anniversary. Who knows? But thank you guys for watching. On behalf of Anthony McClure, this is Brendan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, signing out.